Thank you guys for your patience. We are going live tonight from my phone because something is wrong with Something is wrong with my dome computer. And it does not want to allow my camera access. So the show is from the phone tonight. So what is going on? I'm going to do my best to figure out how to do this. So, hey y'all.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, I don't know. I got to figure out how to turn the music on.
Wait, did you say you were doing it from your phone tonight?
Yes.
I could tell your audio sounds completely different.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I was on my computer, and when I went to start it, it said that there is some other program that is using the camera, but there's nothing else open. So maybe Google is spying on me tonight. I don't know.
See, this is why I keep a damn posted over my pinhole camera on my laptop at all times. I don't trust none of this.
Well, this isn't a camera that I just bought. This is an exterior camera because my computer is new, but my monitor isn't. My monitor is several years old. It's time for me to replace it because of the age of it. Sometimes when the computer goes to sleep, the monitor goes into a coma. And I have to reboot the computer to make the monitor come back on. And I thought it was the computer, and that's why I bought this computer, because I thought my old computer was broken. So I bought a new computer. The monitor worked. I was like, yeah, it was the computer. No, it's been the monitor the whole time. So I unplugged the camera, and now I'm going to see if maybe I try to use the old camera, if it'll work. Because I need to have my hands free and I don't need to be sitting here conflicted. Is everybody in? Everybody's in. Okay. Y'all just be patient. If anybody new try to come in, just tell them we having some technical difficulties.
What did I not say, Bubbles?
What say now, Reginald?
Didn't I say a couple of nights ago when Finn was going to try to get out of that bed, Sheila going to pop right back up?
She said, what you doing?
What you doing?
What you doing? He said, I was just trying to see if I could fart. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could fart because I feel a little gassy.
I would have said, I'm trying to get comfortable in this bed. Y'all had me in this bed for a little too long. My back hurt.
She told him, don't you never try to get out of this bed. If I don't care if I'm here and ain't nobody else here, don't be trying to get up out the bed. I know you think that you can do it.
Y'all know who she sounded like? She sounded like them damn crows in the Wiz. Woo!
She
said, when they told the scarecrow, don't you ever try to get down off this damn pole?
Yeah.
I was like,
she told him, don't you better not tell nobody but God, it'll kill your mama.
So that means tomorrow we're going to get him calling her crazy and she going to go crazy.
I guess so. Because much longer can he sit there playing and pretend with his psycho bio?
I mean, he wasn't even really doing nothing. He was just, if a person wakes up out of a coma and they've been on their back for, at this point, I know it hasn't been, 2 months in soap time, but it's been 2 months for us, so it's been a minute. How you think a person who's been on their back all that time, why wouldn't they want to sit up? And it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, you have plenty of time to get back whole. I really do feel like she would probably amputate one of Finn's damn legs.
Look how she walked up in there. Talk about I got a friend to help out.
I feel like your girl over here, Sheila. I don't know, y'all. I love Sheila. Y'all know I love Sheila. Sheila is my first, my last, my everything. But she is squirrely right now.
What did y'all take? What did y'all get? Did y'all get that? Get my tongue together because it's twisting. Okay, what was you guys' take on Deputy Chief Hot Dog telling Rich that Guthrie told him that he might think it's an inside job?
Mike
like trying to
ran
throw
it.
the shit off of him.
Exactly. Mike, some of the sounds of that, I intuit that Mike is the one who reported Sheila is missing. Because here's the thing. You don't, just like with a murder, you don't know because if, hey, the person who's reporting it is not likely to be the one who's the most suspected, except unless there's evidence of it.
Right.
And apparently, the LAPD don't keep historical notes about shit. So apparently, they don't have Sheila listed as a known associate of Mike Guthrie's. Apparently,
Right.
so
Exactly.
I'm
And
like,
that's what I picked up on that instantly. I'm like, yo, now that's kind of smart. But if he had not came over there to like redeem himself in Ridge's eyes, like he said, not get berated on the phone and throw out that name in Brooks' way, because now I will give her kudos for using her antennas for
yeah,
good
yeah, her
rather
light
They
than
still
bulb.
don't work.
I almost choked.
Well, her
They
light
still
bulb
rather
is turning on a little bit
using
slowly,
it for
but
evil.
at
that
least her
light up
light
there.
bulb is blinking. Nobody else's is.
Reed sitting
Exactly.
there keep looking at her like, what do you know about this person? He keeps name dropping. And here go Brooke. You can say that name one more time. What was it again? Guthrie?
I hate
I'm
to
just
say,
like, ma'am.
I'm gonna say this the nicest way I could say it. That sound like that was the show way of trying to acknowledge all these people getting old.
I was like, you know what? It's so refreshing because she usually, use her talents for evil, but it was good that she set up and she put them antennas out there to help somebody other than herself and her minion for a change. I appreciated that.
See, this is the thing. Ridge is over there talking about something. I'm not gonna try to help my wife. Chief Baker looking at him like, we trying to everything we can to go find Sheila. Can you stop
Oh, what
calling
are you
me?
doing? But what is everything? Sheila is out there somewhere, and Taylor doesn't. Brooke broke her ankle because he was.
Oh my God.
Right.
I was like, Ridge, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
If they don't stop making this soap opera so damn obvious, I'm gonna stop watching again. I cannot with him. He is just making it just so plain. Like he's actually putting A, B, C steps out there to show everybody, like, yo, I'm really back here because I'm in-house bodyguard.
Not
It's
to
so
mention,
pathetic.
when it first started. I mean, I'm sorry, Brooke has got good time with this, or I guess the writing is making her do this because it don't make no sense. The man has not said the obvious things that one would expect him to say of coming home to his wife after them being apart since what freaking February.
Precisely.
He ain't said nothing about love.
She
He
don't
not.
care. She won.
He
She doesn't care. She won.
If you really don't.
Because he didn't say I want to be home. He said I need to be here. Look at
I
you.
need. Everything is need. That's just like the same stuff that Carter was talking about.
That'd be the same stuff Liam be talking about
Exactly.
on the downfall.
And Eric.
Yeah.
I just saying something about Quinn.
They said they sound absolutely. He sounds absolutely stupid.
They act like it's a constipative move. Like they just can't do anything. It's just like, like you trying to push it out of you.
I said on Twitter, he having a mental breakdown in front of an officer, and Chief Baker's just looking at him like, what the heck?
But I need to get the Sheila Carter off of the streets. Sir, y'all been dealing with Sheila Carter for 20-some years over here in Los Angeles.
He's talking about some. She been tormenting my family for years. It's time to put her away. Chief Baker like, we trying to find her. Well, you had her, but you let her go.
Well, and you know what? I'm surprised that Mike still has a career after all of these years of helping Sheila. He's a head guard. He's not some little funky peon. Mike been the head guard at the damn prison for years, probably. So he's telling
you know what?
His career's in jeopardy.
Well, here's the thing. You know what's hilarious about this though? Because we've all watched soaps for long enough, we always could spot the unreality of soaps as plainly as the nose on our faces. But you know what actually is realistic? Mike having been as mixed up in Sheila and still having a career as a prison guard. You know why? because as we learned in the last few years that these cops, they jump jurisdictions and their bullshit past does not follow them. Whatever happened while they was on the clock does not follow them. That's why they always say somebody could get dismissed from one police department and they end up in a whole nother jurisdiction, and none of that is sticking to them if they didn't get slammed with any criminal charges. Did Mike ever get charged with anything for his Sheila shenanigans?
No.
He always was able to slither by.
But here's the thing: he was working in security then. He's a officer of the law now. It's true. I could go out and be a damn security guard if I take training.
They let anybody up.
So none of his security guard pass would have probably even followed him into law enforcement, because that's like going from working retail to now you're like the head of the payroll department. Don't nobody care what you did at McDonald's.
I guess so. I guess it's just because we know. I thought he would have had trouble with a background check, but I guess not.
Right, some fingerprints, but Mike stayed clean, and that's what I said before. Isn't it wild that he stayed clean doing all this stuff for Sheila, because he's always been her hench person, always, but he's kept his nose clean. Otherwise, he hasn't got caught, and he's never been implicated in anything. So Mike is the danger. That's what he was telling Sheila today. I've done all this shady shit for you, but at the end of the day, I'm the only one in danger of losing a career. I worked hard for my career. So I need you to get your shit together. And I think that's their love language too, just being crazy like that, because I felt like there was like a coupling moment right there, because he was like, after all these years, I just been trying to tame your ass, and you wow. And I'll come every time you call me, girl, because I love your dirty bath water. But I need you to settle. Why can't we just settle down and just stalk your?
Why can't we do normal shit? That's how Mike sounded. He sounded like a beleaguered boyfriend just saying, like, why can't we do normal shit, huh? Why it's always got to be this craziness?
Why we always got to be kidnapping people and shit? Why we can't go to Disneyland like regular people do? But you always
I felt a little bad for Mike, because that's 20 years of craziness to be hanging with just to try to get a normal ass date and still ain't got it.
Right. That man comes to Sheila's aid no matter what. One time when he came, she called, he was like, I thought you would never call again. And I'm like, Mike is fucking in love with Sheila. That's the only thing that explains it. He got it bad for her and he just go along with shit. But now he's like, look, girl, I done finally made enough money to take care of us if you calm down. Let's just go on and leave up out of here. But it's too late now because Finn has heard his name.
Sheila was stupid. Why would you walk outside to talk to Mike and leave the door open?
Why would Lee walk out to that same damn area to try to call 311? Because she wasn't calling 911.
Apparently, they think there's a damn bubble around that room and nobody can hear or intuit that something's going on the other side of the door. I don't know how the hell.
But girl, look, at least Lee did close the door. Sheila didn't even close the door. She's like, I guess I don't even care if Finn here, so what the hell is he gonna do?
And the damn thing wrong with Finn, he heard everything. Boy was back there listening hard. Woo.
Right. He was like, Mike, who is this Mike guy? The man that should have been your daddy.
I knew you should have been your daddy. But yes, had Sheila calmed her ass down anytime in the last 20 to 30 years, Mike and her could have had a damn child by now. But that's what the whole issue is. Sheila didn't spend her life having babies with men who can't deal with her crazy. That's why she don't ever get to raise none of these damn children.
And Mike loves her damn dirty bathwater. That's her soulmate. Mike is her destiny. She just won't open her eyes.
Mike, every time she called, he come running
to her like, who made that? Is that Whitney Houston? Run to you. He run to her every time. He don't hesitate. I need a car. I thought she snatched the keys and bounced, and he like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll walk home.
Child, Finn better find some kind of strength or some kind of metal to knock her aside the head.
He better ask her to start feeding him.
He in a bad position. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. I don't think he's been down long enough for total atrophy to set in. But he's not in a good enough position to get himself out of there on his own power. Not yet.
Because he tried to sit up and yeah.
Exactly. He ain't even. I mean, even if Sheila had left to go get the medicine, Finn would have had to get himself out of that bed, crawl to the damn door, crawl across the foyer, crawl to that goddamn door, and go get it open and start screaming help as loud as he could and hope somebody would come. So that's a hard look. That's the thing. Finn is gonna get out of there, but yeah. After today, seeing how hard that was for him, and he didn't even manage to completely sit up on his own, he is going to need someone to help him out of there.
Now he gonna call Sheila crazy. Oh, he about to beat 10 times crazy. Your mom, your stepmama, she didn't call Sheila crazy. Look what happened to her.
Dead up been dropped in the water, and we ain't seen poor Lee since. We will again. I'm certain of it, but yeah, we ain't seen Lee since she got dropped in the water. And the thing is, you know what? I guess what's gonna happen. Sheila gonna be out there in that foyer running her damn mouth to Mike, and I bet you any money Finn gonna hear that she did something to Lee. Because apparently she think nobody can't hear nothing with the damn door wide open. That is ridiculous. Though. Like,
she's sitting back watching Finn to see if he gonna get out of that bed.
And y'all heard how she was. We need some ground rules. I was like,
she gonna put him in timeout. She gonna put him in timeout tomorrow.
She gonna kick
because he's not gonna eat his He's not gonna eat his Brussels sprouts.
She gonna kiss this man on the forehead and then walk out. Finn was like, "You're not gonna leave me in this room by myself. I'm gonna find a way how to get out of here."
But she had to know that Finn could hear her because she heard Lee with the damn door closed. So
exactly.
How would Finn not be able to hear her? She left the door open and she's peeping back, looking at him. Girl, he can hear you. The man is injured. You shot him. You didn't shoot him in the ears. You shot him in the cheek. Like, he can still hear you. He's been in a coma, not deaf. But yeah, why would she think that he can't hear her? That's just I guess it's the logistics of the shooting because it didn't make no sense to me.
Exactly.
He gonna say, Sheila, you're crazy. Well, Finn, you should have just shut your mouth and play stupid.
Well, see but that's the problem. The longer Finn, all of the action has to kick up a lot because Finn is not unconscious anymore. He's not groggy anymore. He's aware. His mind is sharpening itself. He fully understands the situation that he done landed his ass in because his crazy ass bio egg donut and shot him, and he is anxious. And the longer this goes on, and also the more Sheila, the longer he stays with Sheila, the crazier she gets. The longer he is there, the more she does not want to let him go, and it's showing. Oh, good evening, Renee Glover over on YouTube, honey. And he knows that. Because you sort of looked at that. You saw that Scooby-Doo look on his face with his forehead wrinkled when she started laying down the rules. Like, what the?
I saw that too.
Somebody said instead of him getting up, he should have just tried to roll out of there. Well, his heart monitor still would have went off. That's probably would have got Sheila running in there. She probably like, what the heck is he trying to do?
Not to mention he would have still been tangled up in all of that stuff. It doesn't even look like he can really fully move his legs. So he wouldn't even be able to army crawl his ass out of there.
Can we all agree that Sheila must have got her license, her certification to be a nurse from the same area that Brooke got her chem lab? Like, I need to know, how do you not? Okay, you have to recertify all the time to keep your license intact and keep it up to date. But you don't forget how to be a nurse. That's just like you forget how to say 1 + 1 is 2. Like, that should become a habit. Like, you should just know things off the bat. You don't need anybody to tell you. Like, all this stuff that he's doing, she come walk in the room like, what are you doing? Bitch, I'm trying to get up. You ain't giving me no range of motion. I've been sitting up here laying in this bed. I had to ask you for some water. You didn't want to give me no water. You saw I was looking like death becomes him. And you ain't giving me a cup of water. I had to ask for it.
But
She ain't getting no. She ain't giving Finn no PT while he in that damn bed.
Exactly.
If she knew she was
He
trying
didn't
to,
know. He didn't know OT. No, none of that. None of that. OT, PT, none of that.
she could literally move that bed up so he can sit up a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
ma'am, he been sitting
yeah,
back there.
that's
He
the
been
thing.
sitting low too long.
Yeah.
But you see, understand. She don't. Yeah, I agree, Maya. I think Bell may have forgot that she was a nurse, or he think we stupid. But but another part of it is
She
this: is
told
that
Finn that. Finn looked at him like,
I'm
"You
a
was a
nurse.
nurse."
And I know Finn sitting up there. Well, guess what? I'm still you. If you're a nurse, I'm a credentialed doctor, and you're the shittiest nurse I've never seen.
I swear.
That's the look he had in his eyes. But that's the thing. One of the reasons she's not doing all of this is because she truly does not want to do any. She's saying we're gonna get you better. You're gonna recover, but she's not doing anything to help that recovery because she don't really want him to recover
Nope,
because
she
of
don't.
The only thing she gave that man was a new IV bag.
She do
exactly.
not. You are absolutely right because it's, as much as he's laying in that bed, he needs her, and she needs to be needed. And she
Yeah.
does not want him to heal because soon as he heals, he's going to leave her, and she know it.
Exactly. You think that witch does not want Finn being able-bodied? She doesn't want that. How could she possibly want that? Because for the first time ever since she strolled her ass into his life last August, he is a captive audience. He needs her. He is depending on her. It's not about choice. It's about the circumstances. He has no choice, and she is reveling in this. And she doesn't want that to end. So she's not going to do anything that would improve his condition marginally enough for him to be well enough to stand up and get the hell out of that bed. Hell no.
How long?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. How long has it been since this man had food?
Girl,
At least
I'm not even
4 months.
gonna
He
get.
been in there
We're not even
starving.
gonna. We not. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can survive on fluids for a really long time if you're NPO. When I had to have surgery because things got complicated, I was NPO from like a Sunday, and I did not get actual food until like Tuesday evening. So yeah, you can survive on fluids. That's what the whole point of all the IV fluids they give you in the hospital are if you're NPO. But no, at the rate that he's going, he would have had to have had a feeding tube or something by now. And the show is not about to get into none of that shit.
When he woke up, he looking like he looking like Sanford and Son. Now he up. Now he up. He just like, if you gonna get me out of here, I'm gonna find a way out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gonna try and play on Mike's sympathy. Oh well, my mother's gone crazy, and I know you want to get away from her. Can you help me get out of here, please?
I mean, it's not like he got a peg or a PJ tube or anything. I mean, the show is not realistic enough to actually talk about things like that. We're just supposed to pretend that Finn has somehow miraculously been able to get nutrients and that he died.
Cause y'all saw how when he woke up, Sheila over there checking this man's heart rate. You ain't no
Mm-hmm.
nurse. You trying to keep him in there. You know what you doing.
Oh
Shit.
God.
She putting that
So
little white sheet over the door, acting like nobody gonna be able to see her. The only person that knows where you at is Mike.
fact,
Exactly.
fact.
And she's gonna keep it that way. And here's the thing, Mike had me rolling though. When Mike would basically
Mm-hmm.
tell her, you know what, you need to get some new guys, you need to get some more friends. So you can sometimes call other people with this crazy shit. Why am I only to call for the crazy shit?
He said the next time you go to jail, you might as well just make
Can
some
you
new
make some new
friends.
friends? Yeah. Can you please?
Exactly. He like I agree with Bubble said. Yes, Mike does love Sheila's dirty bathwater, and he will always pick up that call for Sheila, always. But sometimes he don't want that call to be this crazy shit. Sometimes he
Yeah.
wants that call to say, "Hey, the new Marvel movie out. You want to go catch a movie, Mike, and get some
Right.
deal?"
Right.
Sometimes he wants it to be a normal damn call. But
Don't be become that friend where every time I see your name pop up on the phone, oh shit, what the hell you want now?
Cause it's the first time Mike went down there. Mike was like, "Wait, isn't that Finn your son?" She was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "What the heck? I thought he was supposed to be dead." Well, Lee was taking care of him.
Oh God,
Nobody knew.
Did you guys just read what Renee put down?
Yeah, I heard. Now, one of those, that's the thing. So far, we know somebody is going to turn up as Lee Savior because unless Lee is some kind of Iron Woman triathlon, somebody had to had to either fish her out that water or help her once she got out of that water because she wouldn't have been
I
in
am
no
going
good
to
position.
love to find out how the hell Bill out of everybody.
If it's
They
Bill,
might
I'm
as
gonna
well
love it.
said Nick gonna save her. Hell, he live on the damn
At
water.
least broke, yeah, at least Nick got a boat. But that's the thing.
Exactly.
The
Maybe who
last
knows? Maybe Bill bought the yacht down. Maybe he bought it back into the country, and he and somehow some way you're not gonna come up with some improbable ass
the
explanation.
last time we saw Bill was at that dumb wedding, and he was just like all of us. Oh Lord.
What the hell is the significance with Bill getting a new couch? I keep hearing it.
Okay,
What?
so
Okay.
apparently
Is this
on a
is this the
live,
same thing that we sit our butt on in the living room? Like, what is the couch? Some type of
well here's
nouveau?
well no, but here's the thing. One, Bill getting a new couch is important because it indicates that there will be scenes at Bill's house. We have not been to Bill's house since Liam was parked over there having that shit fit about turning Vinny into a pancake.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time we
Yeah,
saw Bill's house. So that
And he
means,
yeah.
should have stayed in jail.
well, yeah, that's another point. But yeah, but them talking about Bill getting, first of all, hey, nobody don't. I hate to sound like we're deprived on this show, but we are not GH and we are not Dave. Whenever they put even a new chair on these raggedy ass sets, it's important because we don't get shit on this show for aesthetics. We lucky our people get clothes, but we don't get new sets like talking about, and we don't get new furnishing. So if
Hell no, because Steffi done had that same damn living room set, kitchen, dining room set, the
Child,
she
dishes, the
not
knives. She
see
she
had the
that
same
be
bedspread, the same pillows,
that
I
and that
damn
same
yellow
green
blanket
blanket.
that yellow blanket that I want burned in hell
They
in the
want
back
they
of
don't
her
don't
had
that
that
whole
same green
don't,
blanket and y'all better believe that green blanket transferred over there one time over there to that couch, aka master suite of over there at Lope's cabin.
See
darling,
that's the
darling,
thing.
I
Yeah,
said it. That whole couch need to be burned after what happened in
Man,
2020.
exactly. But see, that's the thing. One, remember when when Bill gave the house to Liam, the house used to be decorated completely different when Bill still owned it. Before when Bill back way back in the day, I'm talking about when Steffi was a lot younger and her hair was way shorter. Bill had that house decorated a whole different damn way. And then when
yeah.
Liam got it, he redecorated it, and it's pretty much stayed in that format all that time.
Yeah,
Yes,
when
a decade ago, 10 years. It
Yeah,
was
when
10 years
Liam
in the
first
making.
got the house, remember how dark and dingy it used to look? The walls weren't white, they were gray, they didn't have no backlight. It had one little stupid surfboard. They took the pictures that was in the living room, put it in the upstairs bedroom with the red car. They did a lot of stuff. They moved stuff around. But I will say they added lights and they painted since
Right.
Steffi got in there.
Exactly. But I've always felt like that house needed a huge refresher
Yeah,
once after Steffi purchased the house from Bill is one.
exactly.
After she purchased it, it was her house from then on.
Yes.
Then on top of that, after her and Liam were over, I really felt like the house needed a different personality injected into it, and we almost never got that. Like case in point,
Yep.
y'all remember that stupid ass map of the United States that used to be over that damn
Yes.
fireplace?
Yes.
I hated that. Every
That
time
with the license plates.
every time
I
I would
liked it. I liked it because it looked like a bachelor pad. But I didn't like it once Steffi moved in. Once she
me
moved in, they needed to girl it up a little bit.
Me neither. So I think that the part of the significance of them even talking about, yes, that's how deprived we are on this show. That people get a new couch and it's news. Because honestly, it really is news because they do not refresh the set for shit. So if they're
Right.
actually changing something in Bill's set, which we have not seen in over a year, and then I can't even tell you when the last time. I think the last time we saw Bill set before the bullshit with Liam and Vinny and the street pizza shit. I want to say it was when he was trying to convince. Was it when he was trying to convince Katie to take him back or some shit? We ain't seen Bill set in two instances in the last 3 years. So if they actually went through the trouble to do that, that means they intend to be shooting scenes there for something, and they're not going to be shooting them for Bill by himself unless
Hey,
they let
Bubble,
him get
Sam
free.
trying to get let in. Sam trying to get let in. I know you eating.
Oh wait, there's Sam. Yes, she sure is. So
Sure.
that is going to be interesting. And
I
yes,
see.
Yeah.
Renee, they need to change the damn curtains. They need the surfboards are still the same. One step ahead. Yes, a
But
lot of
dar-
stuff.
but darling,
Hmm.
if you look on Steffi's wall, it's that big old like whole side right there. I said Taylor need to print out that picture of Steffi and Finn at their wedding and put that on the wall.
Well, I hope that they. Well, first of all, one, I think they've added a lot more pictures of Steffi and Finn. Thank goodness, because let's be honest, some of those Photoshop pictures they had when they first started putting pictures up, and that damn steam head picture came down. I was like, y'all gonna need better quality and soon. So
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did y'all say the theme picture actually came down?
Yeah, when Steffi
no,
took it
oh
down
no,
after she got engaged to Finn, she took it down and gave it to Kelly.
Oh no, I'm
oh yeah,
talking
well,
about the smaller one. The smaller one with her, Kelly, and Liam.
oh no.
Where is that one
It's
at?
still up.
What we were talking about was that how deprived we are as a show that we don't get refresh sets. So Bill getting a new couch actually is major news because they don't change shit on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure that Bill getting a new couch is more to do with actual story than him getting a new sofa just for a new sofa. So yeah, him getting a new story, the sofa is actually part of the story. I'm betting my money on it.
Exactly. And like I said, it's a shame that we're so deprived of updated sets that a new couch is big news, but that's where we are.
Yeah, I do want them to take that picture down. Two of those pictures down. Two of those Photoshop pictures was just hideous. The one with Kelly in it and the one with uh
It
Kelly's
was.
Liam and Steffi. Those two just need to come down, period.
They
Um
did
the, the
that. They
one the one is fine, it's okay with me. It's a throwback to the time where there was, about an intimacy double, but the other two need to come down.
You sound a little congested, Sam. You okay?
Yeah, the allergies down here in Florida has been wearing me out. That's why I overslept because of the allergy medicine I had to take earlier today. I woke up hyped up, geeked up, and ready for the soap operas, child. Today was a good day. Um, but yeah, the allergy medicine got me a little bit sleepy.
Oh, well, I hope
Yeah.
you feel better, huh?
Thanks, I already do.
And
Yeah.
and so we were talking about Finn, and well, the fact that Sheila does not want Finn to actually get better. That's kind of obvious after today.
She doesn't want Finn to get better because she doesn't want Finn to walk out that door because she know that'll be the end of it.
Yep.
Exactly. And I'm looking for his damn internal dialogue. He's sitting up there.
Yes.
he calling Sheila crazy. Sheila probably was like, I was never expecting that to hear that from my own child.
I
Well,
mean, that's what he's saying in his head. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting as hell as time goes on because the longer that this drags out with Sheila being as obvious as hell, because Finn's a doctor. He's not stupid. He knows what he's supposed to. He knows what a patient in his condition is supposed to be doing at this point and what they're not
Exactly.
supposed to be doing. So he knows that he's and Sheila not wanting to disclose to him how long he has been in that bed
Mm-hmm.
is really riding him because he doesn't know how long he's been down.
Yep.
right.
He
That's it.
doesn't know what has become of his wife and his kids. That's mental torture right there.
He's
That
been
He
is.
just
asking
woke up
Sheila
and he
like
asking for his family.
he's been
Yeah.
asking Sheila where my wife at. Sheila talking about some
Mm-hmm.
she overseas.
She said
Well,
she said vacation. So I know
He said
damn
she took the
well.
kids on the vacation. Yep.
You
And
know
he looked
damn
like vacation.
well.
So, cause
And
it make it seem like he just been asleep over the weekend. That's why he asking, how long have I been here? Long enough for her to go on vacation? Like,
exactly. And they think
what?
he's dead. Now she didn't told him that everybody thinks he's dead. He's like, so let me get
Mm-hmm.
this straight. She thinks that we're dead. Everyone thinks I'm dead. And
Right.
Sheila is saying that if I believe what the hell Sheila has to say, of course, that
Mm-hmm.
Steffi and the kids are gone on vacation.
Yeah.
how much time would have had to have passed for that to be something that happened?
Right. And not only that, he doesn't have a TV in the room. He doesn't have a newspaper. So it's not like he can find anything with a date on it, a phone or anything. So yeah, he's like
Sheila
totally
don't even
lost.
have a death certificate. Lee only one got that one.
Yeah, I can't wait until she shows him the death certificate. We haven't even gotten to that yet. It's Wednesday this week.
I think that's gonna happen after he reunites.
Oh no, he's gonna. That's when I think I read the spoiler that said that once he sees the birth certificate, he's gonna understand what kind of danger he's in. Because she got him pent up in that closet, and everybody already think he is dead. He could,
So
she could kill him, and that's it.
Ben is gonna see his death certificate
She's
how?
gonna
That's
show
what
it.
the spoiler said.
She's going to show it to him like a psychopath.
And
But
he's
she
going to
doesn't
see
see it.
Lee, and he's going to see that Lee
Well,
saved it.
here's the thing. The only thing Lee ran out of there with was her purse. We don't know what
Right.
Lee left in that place. And so I'm assuming that Lee left the death certificate in there and Sheila then been snooping in the drawers and then found it.
So in
Right.
that case, then he gonna find all her logs too, probably.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't think Lee took the remember Lee was keeping all her information on a computer.
Yeah,
on a
right.
computer. So
No, she was talking on look like a one of those little tape recorder things.
She
right,
had one of those too.
right. So we don't know what Sheila then found, but we know Lee didn't leave with all of it.
No,
Right.
she didn't. Right.
So
She-
she may know more about Finn's condition than we would originally think, but she has no vested interest in him recuperating, none whatsoever. That goes to get that because the second he's better, her fantasy is over.
Hold on, Renee. Don't be dropping these bombs and then come out. I'll be right back.
Wait, what happened?
Mike
Mike
is going
is gonna
to be
be-
Finn's saving grace, and Sheila is going to kill Mike.
She better nah.
What?
The first part I go with. The second part, I have a hard time believing it because Mike has been Sheila's ride or die for 20 years.
But you sure about that? She did sick a dog on her.
She did.
I don't-
That was in the early
He
years.
handled
That
them
was
dogs.
before
And
horror.
that ain't the point. The point is that she's not going to have nobody on her side then.
Exactly.
I don't think so. I don't think that. Yeah, I'm with you, darling. I'm not buying that one.
Yeah, they're not going to
that
burn
last
Mike
part.
as a character just to kill him off just on this little short arc to help Sheila. That would be ludicrous. They're not going to kill him. He going to escape justice so he can come back and him and Sheila can raise hell again.
Not to mention the fact that Sheila literally has no one. She has no one in this entire universe who is her friend.
Nope.
Red says she ain't got no friends.
Exactly.
Well, she still got Taylor. I hope there's another run with Sheila and Sheila.
Well,
and
Taylor said she
Uh,
burned that bridge.
Officially
Well,
Taylor
dead.
said
that's
she burned that
Officially
bridge.
bye-bye. They
Well,
done sunk
yeah.
that Titanic.
Sheila, because today we did get because we haven't gotten on the topic of what was what happened at Il Giardino.
And I've been waiting to talk about it.
There was so much going on in that conversation between Taylor and Ridge. I dug the subtext, I dug the growth, and I also dug the fact that they did exactly what we said they was going to do. They commiserated on the fact that they both was dead wrong about Sheila Carter ass. And it bothers them. It bothers both of them. It bothers Sheila and it bothers Deacon too. That they
You
was
mean
that
Taylor.
wrong about her.
You mean Taylor?
You ain't hear when Deacon said we both losers, and Taylor was like, no,
Mm-hmm.
That was
Did
like,
y'all see
Taylor,
that cute? Did y'all see that cute moment when he was like, "So this is what they pay you $500 for?"
Yeah.
And then she put her hand out.
Yes, they do. Yes, they pay you.
Oh, see, I missed that. I didn't even see that.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the thing.
Because
Threw her
Sheila,
hand out
'cause
underneath the camera.
Taylor had her feet up at El Giardino, and they were just talking. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I saw she
listen,
got mighty
ma'am.
comfortable.
Yes, she did. And the thing is, when she asked Deacon how he felt about it, this underplays was something that I said before, which was that they are both in two unique positions where really nobody else in their lives understands where they're coming from. So she asked him authentically, "How do you feel about it?" And he's like, "You act like you can." She's like, "Cause I do." And he said, "I felt like a loser." And Taylor's like, hold on, wait a damn minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not saying that. Now, yeah, feelings may be hurt. You may be upset. You may be disappointed. You can feel any kind of way you want to feel about your heart being hurt. But we're not having this devaluing shit of ourselves just because these people then just went ahead and got back together, and that is what it is. So I appreciated that because that is, from a healthy standpoint, that is how you are supposed to address a broken heart. You don't devalue your whole existence because somebody then crapped on your heart. That's not a good thing to do. That's the worst thing you can do. And it was really good to see that Taylor is in that frame of mind to know that, and that she was able to show that to Deacon and get him to say the same damn thing.
Well, I can say
The queen
this.
lifted him up today. She showed did.
Well, I can say this regarding today's show, that I found it mighty ironic how happy Taylor and Deacon were this afternoon. I mean, yeah, they were talking about Ridge and Brooke, but nobody wasn't brokenhearted. They was actually more lighthearted about it. But in the contrast, we got Ridge over here at Shay
He's
Logan
still
losing
moping.
his shit all day long. I see this is one reason why I need Taylor and Ridge together, because I cannot stand Ridge outside of Taylor and Steffi. His whole today, he irked the damn shit out of me.
You ain't lying, Sam.
You ain't
He was
lying.
just, he's
He was
so
aggravating.
unhappy and just growly and grumpy all the damn
He
time.
was
I mean,
off
I
the
mean,
chain moody.
He's
Reed was
pitiful.
easier to watch being tortured in his bed,
Mhm.
mentally trying to deal with Sheila, than Ridge stomping around all the time. So I felt that was extremely ironic that Taylor and Deacon were smiling and happy and laughing today, and Ridge dumbass was over there huffing and puffing because
Ah,
he is forced to protect his wife.
The episode started with him giving her a massage and then him
I know.
calling.
I
It's
don't know
like,
how it
oh
started, but I
God.
know literally it was the worst part of the show today. I mean, it was truly the worst part of the
it
show.
was.
There
It
was
was the
nothing
Yeah.
most
good about it.
demeaning. It was the
What is
most
people get
demeaning part of the show.
what is people getting out of Bridge? I really would love the damn answer, because those two on screen together irked me. It's not entertaining. I don't even understand the story. I get it. The
You
story
have,
is, no matter how bad she treats him, he keep coming back because
you have to remember
he's
what
her destiny.
Taylor said. Taylor answered that today, girl. She told us.
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
said it's all
Taylor and
about
Deacon
Deacon
over
was
getting
there.
back.
funny.
It's all about the get back together. It
But
ain't
see,
about staying. It's about the get back. And I was like, hold
She's
on, that
right.
sounds real familiar. I
She's
should have.
right.
I know I
That's not the
quoted
first
that.
time. That is not the first time Taylor said that. Remember,
Uh-huh.
when Brooke had that pop up wedding for Hope at Liam's
And
house,
Lynn,
and they were in the back room arguing, and Brooke said, and Taylor said, "Well, don't you mean y'all really just break up to make up?
yep,
Isn't that what it's like?" So that's
yep.
all. That's been her opinion about that marriage for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And
and
Steffi,
Ridge got to be the slowest damn student on the small bus, because how can he not see it at this point? I mean, he's like, I mean, looking like the most unhappy husband under the sun, um, dragging back home to protect his wife, but he keeps kissing her though. So I don't know. I just really find the whole I found all they scenes today to be
You
quite
know,
weird.
he was
you know what was
miserable.
the funniest part to me about
Him,
about hashtag no deal? I found it real funny. I found it real funny when he said, I may not be a big fan of somebody, and they're not a big fan of me. And she's like, huh, you got fans?
Exactly.
Yeah. So also the way she called herself a saint, Saint
Exactly.
Taylor.
Well,
I love
actually,
it.
but that's the thing. That is the dynamic of whatever this is going to be is going to be, because
Right.
generally Taylor is considered because in LA we have people who are on the Saint side. And speaking of which, if anybody plays back these things, who works for Bold and the Beautiful, and you actually have some creative input, based on today's thing, I think we need to have a gala for the show, and it needs to be a Saints and Sinners gala. Please, let's have one.
Did you catch Saints and Sinners?
Yes,
I
I
told
did. I
y'all.
was the saint in the sin. I was like, yes,
I know
yes,
damn
exactly.
well they ain't
That
watching
is,
no BET show.
that is what the trope is. The trope is the saint who is Taylor, who is basically for the
The
entirety of her soap history, with a
yeah,
few exceptions, has been considered a good person, and
yeah,
then Deacon, who pretty much the exact same opposite, except he's pretty much been considered a bad person for
dangerous.
most of
Yeah.
for his soap history.
Uh-huh.
So that makes it really interesting because one thing that I found exceptionally funny about it was that they kind of didn't even. First of all, hey, I think that shooting must have fucked up Il Giorgino business because nobody ain't come up in that piece.
It's only Deacon and Taylor, and there ain't nobody in there.
I'm gonna
And
need you to know you go around and you get shot up and you shoot up a CEO and her husband outside the restaurant. You ain't finna get too much patronage at all, if any. They gonna be calling and
Well,
getting DoorDash.
it
For
seemed
real
like
though, Carter's ass probably rented it out for the whole week. So it's probably still closed
well,
for the
Deacon
week.
only got one thing from Taylor for saving her daughter. Ridge, he can get jacks. I don't even know what he gonna.
He
Thomas, he
got to
may
go
get it.
home where he's needed, where he needs to be, where he ain't never said I want to be here. He ain't never said
He still never said I love you, Brooke.
Yeah, but
Nothing.
he keeps
it
sucking
sounds
down her tongue
terrible.
though.
And
I
you
mean,
know
that's
what?
why I find it very strange these scenes in the dialogue and how everything's playing out from the moment he decided to go back to that house. It's just been odd.
She
It's
keeps
just
saying
everything is weird.
Destiny. Ridge brain keeps saying, "Oh, I want Taylor." That's why he being so moody. He hasn't realized it, but he's gonna realize
No,
it sooner or later.
it's not just that. The other thing is this. How do I put this? Ridge is not. I don't want to say deflecting. I think a better word is externalizing. He has all this anxiety internally about the choice that he just made. Now, one, I have no patience for it because nobody didn't make you do shit. Okay, Bob. Nobody forced you to go back to Brooke's house. Nobody said because the woman got a busted ankle, you had to be home. Guess what? You got security on the property, and if you worry about that ankle, get a goddamn live-in nurse. Y'all have money. Okay, so you're back where you are because you chose it. That was your choice. So
Mhm.
I have no sympathy for Ridge on that, none whatsoever. But the
But
problem is he is feeling conflicted internally about it, and he's so upset about I gotta look after Brooke, but I also have to look after Taylor, and Sheila just has to be caught immediately. That is him externalizing his anxiety about the fact that he knows he made a crazy ass choice going back
yeah,
to Brooke.
that was a
Well,
knee
we don't.
jerk
But we
reaction.
don't.
It
But
was
we
a
don't see
knee
that
jerk
though.
reaction to what he normally what he is used to doing. And
But
that right there is what I was bringing up the other day. Like
I don't.
he's not going to be with her just because that's what he feel like he need to do. Because at the end of the day, like Deacon said, he left her. Just like he left her then, he will do it again.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I sure, I think this happened with Liam, right?
well, I just feel like that with Ridge. To me, it's very confusing. It makes me not really care
I
about
don't.
what he's feeling because
Nope.
he's doing both at the same time. He can't, because we agree that the dialogue is off. He's not saying "I love you," "I want to be here with you," and "I need you." He's saying "I need to protect you,"
He
but he
said
keeps
he
sucking
only
her
did that to
face up.
protect her and rub her ankle because she injured.
Yeah, but he wasn't over there kissing Taylor like that. Him and
Mm-mm.
Taylor kissed a few times, but he been literally down Brooke's throat for 2 whole days.
And and here's the thing: he could stay his raggedy ass down it because I'm disgusted with him.
Me too.
Not because he decided he wanted to give his marriage a second shot, but because of the way that he handled this entire effed up situation after the truth came out about whatever Sheila had to do with the New Year's Eve thing. And here's the thing, even Taylor pointed it out to Deacon today. Look, basically she even said, no, not I'm just saying bullshit. Okay, the reason that those two are broke, those two can't keep their shit together, aside from them always breaking up to get back together, is because there was a real issue there about Brooke defending you, and that was
Well,
based on
that
something.
was excellent today. That somebody did finally bring up the fact that And you know what? And I'm kind of over it too, because literally this shit
Exactly.
started December 31st. And it's goddamn July 13th. That the reason why Brooke kissed Deacon, and she said it out of her mouth. She wanted to. Her and him was having a good time. In the moment felt right,
Mm-hmm.
and they kissed. They were
Yeah.
drawn to one another to kiss. But it's July now. It's July now. I'm damn tired of
Exactly. I don't give a woofie and a hot damn about why
But
they
every
pushed
time
at
she
this
eat,
point.
every time she see Red, she keeps saying it's Sheila's fault. It's not Sheila's fault. You
Hold
wanted him to
on.
right.
die.
Exactly.
She's
Exactly.
supposed
That's the
to.
gaslighting.
She's supposed to. Exactly. She gotta say that to keep herself in the victim role.
Correct.
Exactly.
She can't
Correct.
never
And
take
Ridge
full
is going to,
responsibility for nothing.
moreover than that, Ridge, and moreover than that, not just that, but Ridge actually already point blank said himself after
Yep.
after all of this shit happened, after the truth came out, that was why he was moving to Eric's and not just coming back home, which is
Right.
that there was more to it than that. So he knows that. He's
Yep.
not gaslighting nobody on this, not
Mhm.
him. He knows it too. And he made his choices. So you know what? If he like it, I love it. Enjoy your time in Beverly Hills and stay your crusty ass there. Leave
Cause,
Taylor the
cause
hell
don't
alone and just stay.
Cause don't it look like he's miserable as hell?
He
Yes.
always been
He
miserable.
looks miserable and constipated.
That's what I said.
Red,
Constipated too. He always doing that grunt face. You know that same face Liam do. Like, ugh. Like it's a hard one. Like, come on,
Red,
man.
Ridge
It
is
is a
more
hard one when your wife a hoe.
Ridge is
Yeah,
more
and it's even more
Ridge is more miserable
horrible
than
and
Tim.
embarrassing when she keeps showing you and everybody else that she a hoe.
Right. This man
When your
out here
kids, when your kids
honest.
basically browbeat you because you married to a hoe. They tired of being embarrassed that you married to a hoe. Because every time the hoe embarrass you, the hoe embarrass them.
But that's my thing. This is all
But
Ridge's
see,
choice. He
yep.
done chose it and chose it, and he keeps choosing it. So you
But
know what?
see,
I need Taylor, and not so much Taylor, but I need Sexy and Thomas to shut the hell up about Brooke Logan
see,
because I'm past it.
So I
it's
hope that
the
so
whole
this is
point where the miscommunication comes in. At she doesn't understand that the concept, the term, your husband wants you to be his hoe and all these sexy things with him only in the bedroom, and then a lady in the streets. She don't understand that concept.
no,
It's just
she's
like
never
it's
understood that.
backward.
That's
No,
See?
because Brooke belongs
Mm-hmm.
to the streets, girl. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke belongs to these streets circa
Ben
1980.
belongs. She been in these streets. I'm telling you. I'm
And
telling you.
Ridge
And
ass
listen,
is fine with it.
I'm
Let
hoping
him
that
have it.
Thomas is going to be the one, to really ultimately step up. So I still believe that Taylor and Deacon is just a little pit bump, just because I believe they know that Krista Allen is a chemistry magnet. She's phenomenal. They're going to try her around the whole cast for a little bit to get her in scenes with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Dealer is just going to be a little pit stop, a little bump in the road. But I do hope that Thomas actually gets a story out of Ridge and Brooke getting back together. I want Thomas to be pissed that his
Mhm.
dad left his mom with Sheila on the loose and basically leaving it up to Thomas to take care of her. I want Thomas to
Like
say, I got it,
always.
Dad. I'm going to take care of mom.
Like
You go
always.
take care of Brooke. And I want Thomas to be pissed at Ridge
Yep.
ultimately more than everybody.
I need that too because their confrontation between him and Ridge, it's been boiling a long time ago.
I think so too.
Ever since Pearson played Thomas, and Pearson hauled off and knocked Ridge out about the baby Caroline, I'm gonna need him to come on up out of there again on Ridge because he
Yeah,
is once again leaving Thomas as the head, as the man of the house.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I want Thomas to feel a way about it. I want Thomas to pick up the slack and be there for Taylor when Rhea
Me
starts
too.
showing out about her having anything to do with Deacon. Because as soon as Ridge hears one peep about Deacon around Taylor, he's going to go around there huffing and puffing and stomping. And we already know
And he can
Taylor's
go.
personality. Taylor's
Yeah.
probably going to let Ridge have his way because ultimately she has always been the one to do the sacrificing.
Here's the
So
thing. I
she's
don't think she will.
You
I
think
don't
that
think
she
she
wait a
will.
minute,
You know
hold on,
why?
darling. I didn't understand that. You think that Ridge is going I said it
is
again for
going to
me.
have a tantrum about Deacon and Taylor, no matter what respect, no matter what type of relationship they
Right,
may
okay.
be in.
Yeah.
He's going to have a tantrum,
And
and
you think that she
ultimately
gonna do
Taylor
what?
is going to give in to Ridge and distance herself away from Deacon.
Nope.
Really?
I
I'm
wholly
not
and completely disagree.
me
I agree.
too.
I
For
believe
once,
that it's
I
going to
don't
happen.
agree. I think it that's what I was saying the other day. I think it's playtime. I think because that is how Taylor has always approached
And
situations.
that's exactly how I believe it will be approached again. Just like we have not been wrong about everything since Taylor was recast. Taylor was recast automatically, and I never got over Ridge. And we all knew, okay, we got to go around the Brooke Ridge versus Tridge, where Ridge is going to dump Taylor for Brooke again. And yes, that's exactly what we just went through. And just like true to form, like Taylor's character, she is going to be the one to be doing the sacrificing.
Nope.
Brooke gonna get to
I'm gonna
Deacon.
tell you
Brooke
why
is
when you're
gonna
done.
get to Deacon. Brooke
You
is
know,
going to get to Deacon. I
you
can put
know
one hand,
how
put a pin in it.
you
Put a
know
pin in
Okay,
how
it.
and I'm
Steffi was the first one to get off the roller coaster. That's how it is going to be in this triangle.
I believe so.
I ain't going. I think it's gonna be totally different because it's not too far of a stretch, especially right now. She's befriending someone who is totally out of character for her to befriend. So if we going off of that, not off of that assumption, then her even going to talk to Deacon and have this friendly conversation, she kicking up her heels and just shooting the deuces up with him, it wouldn't have happened. I think she's going to approach
Child.
it a different way.
Taylor went over there to drag his ass because she thought that he knew where Sheila was at.
Well,
So
see,
But see, that
Taylor
ain't why
didn't
she
go over there to
stayed
see
though.
Kid.
well, that's not yeah, but
But
that's
that's
not why
not
she
why
stuck
she
around though.
stayed.
We
Once
Yes,
he told
understand
her
she
no, she
stayed.
should have left.
I got it. When
You know what I'm saying? She stayed to stay there to befriend him.
No, she
exactly,
stayed
Amaya.
because she told him that what happened between Brooke and Ridge. She thought that he needed to know because he had a skin in the game.
Hmm.
And as they sat and talked and commiserated, she got comfortable.
Exactly.
She got
I
to know
am
who Deacon
But
shocked
was a
with
here's the
little
you,
thing.
bit,
Sam.
and
But
all
here's
she
I am
Sam.
shocked.
Sam. This is why I'm gonna tell you. I feel you are 100% wrong on this. This is why. Here's the thing. Rich can Rich can have problems with Brooke about Deacon because that's his wife. Okay, you can pull that card when you're a married couple. Okay, because when you're married, you're a unit. It's the husband and the wife. It's the wife and the husband. That there's nobody in the middle of that.
child.
You may have your
Ridge
kids. You may have
currently
whatever.
has 2 wives.
Well, no, no, no. See, that's the thing.
Okay. All right.
One of the reasons I enjoyed today so much, aside from Taylor and Deacon having this self-deprecating humor about what was going on, was that first of all, the entire conversation wasn't 100% about Ridge and Brooke. Now, was it? Some of that conversation was about them. It was about them feeling some type of way about Sheila having got one over on them. So while I do believe the start of Deacon and Taylor having a friendship and a relationship with each other is founded in the fact that they both got burned by Ridge and Brooke getting back together, that's not all it's going to be about. Because here's the thing:
Right,
if
but you know
Ridge,
what? It's
if
never
Ridge,
always just about that,
no, it's
and,
not.
and
But
that's
if
it wasn't always just about that with Nick and Taylor either.
No, it wasn't. But if Rich decides that he wants to roll heavy on Taylor about her associating with Deacon, here's the thing: he cannot pull that card. He cannot drive his raggedy ass from Beverly Hills after he stomped on Taylor's heart in Malibu and then dictate to her about what the hell she gonna do in her own
Why?
time.
Why in the hell
He,
not?
because he's a married damn man and it
Oh,
ain't
but
his
we just
business.
watched that for a few years with Liam
And
and
Steph,
Steffi.
yes,
So
and guess
listen, this
what?
is
And that
I'm
got put in, and it came to that shit too, didn't it?
finally, but it
But it,
began is my point, and
but
and
it
and it
came to
not
an
only
end
has
though.
begun, not only what did it happen with Steffi, it also has happened already in the past with Taylor. Okay, so this is where we're gonna go with this because I do want to move past Taylor and Deacon, amicably be with everybody.
Mhm.
Um, I just personally don't see anything happening different than what I've already seen and have always seen on this show.
I know that is your fervent
Can
wish, Sam. And
can
you know what?
can I comment on it after you
Tati,
done?
I
Because I
do just
can't leave it like that. I
well,
can't leave it where
well
it seems like
one
a
reason I disagree
Taylor
with
fan.
Sam,
Hold
aside
on,
from go ahead, Can.
I can't leave it where it seems like a Taylor fan is just so and not in her corner. I am okay. That's good. That's fine because it may be other Taylor fans just having the same thought
There are a
process
lot of other
as
people. There are
Sam.
other people. Sam said on home. There are
I'm
a lot of
sure.
people who don't
I'm
like the
sure
idea of
that's
Taylor
because
being this campaign.
everybody got PTSD when it comes to this shit. I get it. I'm just following the breadcrumbs, and the breadcrumbs is taking me in a whole totally different direction, and it make it seem like if for once Taylor is having control of this rather than sitting by letting the shit happen to her, and
Instead
that's
of
what
sitting around waiting to be picked, yeah. And
yes,
it's long
it's not.
over freaking due.
It's not going according to how it has always been. You know, sitting around and okay, fine, cool. Her coming back and acknowledging what was, it had to have happened. They have way too many memories. They got kids together. It's new stuff going on with a whole new actress. It gotta be revisited. I get why they put them together for a little while. Now that they ain't, we gotta figure out what's going to happen now. What's the new stuff? And that's why I'm thinking this is just like these breadcrumbs is having me go and left when it's always been having me going the right way. You know, and like I would have never thought that she would befriend Deacon. It's
And they
literally
even
people out here who feel it's Team Shaylar and Team Dealor, Daylor, whatever y'all want to call it. It's just
well,
okay.
it's not
I'm
just
sorry,
that, Aside from the fact that I do think that there's a slight recalibration going on, just because one, a not just because of what we're hearing it on the surface, it's also about the subtext of it. Is that Taylor and Deacon, neither one of them have a legitimate reason not to be friendly with each other at this point. Okay, because as it was kind of made pretty clear in today's conversation, Taylor's not holding Deacon's past against him, and he's not holding the fact that they've never had anything to do with each other in the past against her. So for them, it's basically like, I ain't never did shit to F up your life, and you ain't never did shit to F up mine. So it's whatever. Just like strangers
That's
meeting
what
in
I
the
was
street.
saying the other day. It was like enemy of my enemy is my friend. So there is no reason for
I
me
just
to not
remember that Nick
befriend you.
and Taylor met under the exact same circumstances. And if I can remind y'all, Nick and Taylor did not walk off in the sunset together.
Well, because they decided to insert Brooke into the middle of that. But here's the thing: Brooke is not leaving Ridge for Deacon.
What's different?
Nobody is
What's
crazy
different?
about that.
What's
She was
different?
usurping
Brooke
it.
is
She
not
was
going to.
usurping it because Bridget with the egg. It was
Child,
Yeah,
it
all I'm
was
saying is it's
that
nothing
wasn't
different.
it wasn't
foolishness.
a
It's
fault.
nothing
It
different.
wasn't their fault.
This show 100%, all they do is redo the same damn narratives over
Yes.
and over and over again. If
Well,
nobody
I
beats
certainly
a
hope
dead
nobody's trying
horse
to
more
get
than
pregnant
this
by in
show.
vitro this time. I
Yeah,
certainly
and
hope
What
I
you
they
see?
figure
sure
that
hope
out.
that Taylor ain't trying to be intimate with Deacon because that would make it seem like a Nick situation.
Well,
Because
this
this
it
right
is
here
a
is
Nick. The
totally,
whole thing is a Nick situation to me.
but
I
they
don't
not
see a
trying to be
difference.
intimate.
They're not dating.
Okay,
They ain't even went on a date.
all
They
right.
barely even shared
Exactly.
one.
Lord, all I can say is I'm gonna be having a good damn time on the tag if they actually do try to go on a date, because the whole thing is gonna apparently go up in flames. And also, I'll also go ahead and say two other things that nobody's gonna like, or rather, people who are anti-dealer being involved with each other is Sean Kanan and Krista Allen would not be tweeting what they're tweeting if this was gonna be over tomorrow. I'm gonna put it to you like that. Actors don't talk on stories that are
Well, it is what
non-stories.
it is. Just like
So
Deacon said today.
exactly. So they're going to be involved with each other in some format. We don't know. No, do I think that Taylor's going to be Mrs. Sharp by the end of the year? No. I don't even know if they ever going to even get to the point where they go on a date with each other. I don't know if they even going to sleep with each other. But obviously, they're going to have dealings with each other for a minute.
And that's awesome
And
because
Ridge,
I wouldn't want anything less for Krista Allen and Sean Kanan.
and Ridge coming his raggedy tail with her feelings to Malibu to bitch at Taylor about what she's doing in her personal life after
Is
he just
exactly
told.
what's going to happen.
Oh no, I don't disagree with that, Sam. He's gonna do it, and he's gonna get his ass checked and sent back to Beverly Hills where he lives. That's where we're gonna. That's where we're gonna disagree. But at the end
of the day, Taylor will not be dating Deacon.
I don't know. You're wishing. I know that's what you wish. I'm gonna say I don't know because I literally don't know if they're gonna take a romantic bent with this or if this is just a supportive friendship thing. Because I feel like Taylor needs a friend and Deacon actually needs a friend too. And there's nothing wrong with being each other's friends.
Steffi been needing a friend since 2011. Hell.
Exactly. The last person who had a real friend who wasn't a damn relative was Quinn, and we all know Shauna is gone. So people don't really get friends on this show. I do not count the Logan sisters as friends because they all stir around the same damn cold. So I don't even count that mess. But yeah, so we really don't know where they're going with it. So it really is literally a wait and see.
Exactly.
But what's happening is interesting. It's interesting because I don't want to see I'd had enough of that with Steffi. I had more than my fill of somebody sitting around moping at their house or wherever the hell they are because the asshole who's really not that great of a guy to begin with chose to go in a different direction and didn't pick them. So no, I'm not particularly thrilled at the idea of seeing Taylor do the same thing and her developing a rapport and a friendship with Deacon is supportive of us not having to sit through that. Because those 2 years of Steffi on the couch, I'm not trying to do that with Taylor either.
Right, because Taylor ain't got no clothes to fold like Steffi had all them baby clothes to fold. If they gonna sit $500 an hour patient fee, world renowned psychiatrist Dr. Taylor Hayes on the couch so she can fold her grandbaby's pampers and pick up toys while Steffi is at the office and Finn is at the hospital and Amelia is over there in the cabin because Aunt Donna don't do baby services no more. I'm not signing up for that. I'm here to see that. I don't want Taylor out here being Mimo, sitting on the couch. I'm just here with my grandbabies, my children growing. I just get to be Mimo with my grandbabies. I don't need no man. Mimo don't need no love. I got the love for my grandbabies. Fuck that. Taylor is vibrant. And like Krista said, she's fixing to have a hot girl summer. Where the day Bill or Jack because he needs somebody to put his way out of his grief. Because I don't think him and Lee gonna get back together. But I also want with Taylor because
that's the thing. If the speculation about Bill saving Lee turns out to be true, we might get a little something there. You never know.
Well, maybe Lee will be in a triangle with Bill. I mean, that would be something new because I don't want Bill to be up here with Lee and then be still tripping over Katie and what's the other woman?
They gotta put a pin in that. One way or the other, they have to put a pin in that because one, it's ridiculous when Brooke is not going anywhere. Brooke is not leaving because here's the thing: certain shows have prime directives. They have rules that they're never going to break. And one of those rules that Bold has not broken in a long time is that Brooke generally doesn't leave Ridge. Yes, she'll take off her ring, she'll play bullshit, batshit games, but at the end of the day, she does that because she knows that she can get Ridge back with a snap of her fingers.
That's what she said.
But leaving Ridge when Taylor has her ass in town within driving distance, Brooke would never. She's not that stupid or that crazy. She would never ditch that man with Taylor in the same state, let alone on the same continent.
And that's why if there's going to be a triangle, it's going to have to be with Bill and Jack and Lee because I don't see it being any other woman.
I can get into that. I can get into Bill and Jack scoffing at each other over Lee. First of all, hey, Lee is definitely worth the scuffle. Two, I mean, it's Jack, it's Don Diamont, and it's Ted King. I mean, if the shit writes itself, why not?
Oh my
And
God.
they are all right people, honey.
So so they done hashtag their name Billy already. That's
Who?
funny because
What?
Krista Allen played Billy.
Wait, who did that? Am I? You didn't call them Billy? Oh, girl, yes, indeed.
That's so cute.
Who
Well,
is
I
Billy? Who y'all call him Billy?
Bill and Lee.
Bill
Bill
and
and Lee girl.
the prospect of
Oh my gosh.
if it turns out that Bill really is the one person who saves Lee from, I guess, the fiery death that she had in water. Queen Libra, right? Beatty is dead. Beatty is dead. DOA,
So
dead on
yeah,
arrival.
yeah. I don't know. I like Finn so much. I I would like for Jack and Lee to stay together. The only person I would like to tear up that relationship would be Taylor. I don't know about Bill and Lee. I think Bill is just already. The hell is that?
Okay, is
What
that
is
you,
that?
Bubba?
Is that you, Bubbles?
It can't be me because I'm
You on the screen twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're muted on one and your speaker's open on the other one. But yeah, well, that's the thing. I can't. My thing is, I can't really say nothing about Lee if she don't want to be with Jack because that was some foul shit. That
Correct.
really was.
I mean, yeah,
That was world
yeah,
class foul. So he would have to do a lot more than just beg for a second chance to fix his marriage. And of course, because they have not had them on screen after the immediate fallout of the truth, we don't really know what went down. All we heard from Finn was that they were
right,
working on it, and then
right,
then then everything happened with Finn and Steffi and this mess with Sheila. And the next thing we heard was that Lee hadn't gave Jack the time of day, and that marriage was over. And it was like,
right.
okay, I understand why it's over, but it would have been nice to see why it was over. But
Of
well, shit.
course, absolutely, because Taylor said that she had been communicating with Jack. That's where I'm one of those people looking for the any kind of indication that's going to get Taylor some kind of a life. I would love to see Krista Allen interact with the Finnegan characters because I want to see something fresh, new, and different. I
Well,
mean, that's always my thing is I want to see something fresh, new, and different. I got a new face with Krista Allen. I want to see something fresh, new, and different. She seems to have chemistry with every single body under the sun. So that's not going to be an issue. I just want to see something interesting, something
well,
different.
that's the thing. She will have interactions with the Finnegans because the fact that Finn is not dead, they're in-laws with each other. So
Oh,
they're gonna
yes.
be
Oh,
dealing with
yes.
each other. They're also grandparents with each other. They're gonna be dealing with each other one way or the other. It's just that, and I guess once things kind of, I guess, normalize, once Steffi is back home and once Finn is back up and running and everybody's reunited, then that you're going to have a lot more of them trying to settle into whatever life is going to look like post Sheila's craziness, regardless of wherever the hell it is she lands, but it won't be around them.
Well, that's if we're lucky enough for Bale to keep the Finnegans in story and keep them involved in the cast. I mean, because he is very notorious for shipping them off as soon as whatever the arc is over.
You
I
see,
would hate to see that.
and the thing that keeps me hopeful is that the fact that we've had such a heavy rotation of stories and characters, I want to say whoever's been fooling around in the kitchen with the pot would probably be against him shipping those two characters off because one, we had this conversation the other day about how lean this show is. Even with the extra, even though we have five more people on camera now than we had this time last year, we're still running really lean as far as characters because one, we have people who are on cast, but we never see. We don't see Justin. We don't see Flo. Not that I want to see Flo, but the point is that we have less people who are around to interact. And sending a couple like Lee and Jack off when their son is center stage and married to arguably one of the top female leads of the show would be absolutely pointless, especially when
Mhm.
there's more, especially when a Ted King came away with an Emmy. You go okay. And he didn't even have that much to do last year. You gonna send the person with an Emmy away? Okay,
And his
you do
nominee,
that.
right? And his co-star, which is an Emmy, was an Emmy nominee.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So they could they do it? Absolutely. But they would be stupid as hell. And I have a feeling whoever is trying to help out with changing the tonage of the show lately, they're making a lot less stupid decisions than they were this time last year or 2 years ago.
Well, let's just hope it continues.
I do.
We have not been disappointed since April 1st. I mean, I can't say I haven't been disappointed. There's been disappointments, but in whole and in general, the show has been leaps and bounds. This time last year, it's 100% better than this time last year.
Exactly. There has been a whole shift in how one in how they deal with
Well,
certain
actually, this time last year, we was just after. This was right around our sin birth. So
things.
actually, yeah, actually, no. We were, yeah. So I think sin has been pretty consistent with good stories, and I think just good things going. But that's probably a personal opinion.
But no, not that. No, it's not. It's no. Well, if it is, I agree with you. But one of the things that has changed the most is that pretty much everybody who's on canvas regularly has something to actually freaking do for a change. One of the things that used to kill me last year was that you would have people who were on screen regularly, but their whole damn job was just to talk about what other people was doing. Huh? Give those people give them a story of their own to be a part of where they're actually doing
Well, don't
something.
speak too soon now, because we got the Spencer girls getting together to gossip and talk about their lives. So um,
Well, I
don't
don't.
talk too soon. We
Well,
still
that's
have
the,
Wyatt and Liam getting together for commentary.
well.
What
See,
is
that's the
that
thing. I
noise?
don't really count. I don't really count Katie or why. Here's why. One, half the time is into so many other things that she's hardly ever on. So they don't really. She's not on. Like I don't mean like characters who show up and then they just talk about stuff. I mean people who are consistently. Remember there was that long ass phase when for some reason Zoe Carter, Paris, and Zende will always be in the office talking about other people's business and never their own. That's what I mean. When you have people on screen every day constantly talking about other people, never interacting with any of those other people, and not having none of their business of their own. That crap used to kill me. Wyatt and Katie, I don't count them because we're lucky if we see them once a month at this point. We've seen Katie and Wyatt more in the last 2 months than we had probably seen them in the last 6 months put together, almost. And with Darren
Oh,
Brooks,
even more
I,
than that. I don't think we've seen Wyatt regularly for over a year.
yeah, well that and we haven't seen Flo period, so she's
Right. I
completely
think,
off
as a
the
matter of
menu.
fact, while we talking about it, it was this time last year that we stopped seeing Flo and
Yeah,
Wyatt when they came to the Bay after the Sin baby, after we had the baby Hayes birth.
exactly. And also
That
with
was the
Darren
last.
Brooks, he's shooting that show that's about to premiere, or he was shooting that show that's about to premiere on Apple Plus at the
Amber
end of the month.
Brown.
And
Amber
that's
Brown.
probably why we've been seeing him more recently. Because if it's about to go, if it's about to be aired, that means he wrapped production quite a while ago. So that's probably why we have been seeing him more in the past few months than we have all year.
Right. So hopefully that means that if he's wrapped production on this other show, because that's one of the things people have, or the actors have always said about Bold and the Beautiful, that it's a very flexible show and that it doesn't have issue with you going off to do something else. They just, to have your character go and do something else, and they just call it a day, and it's not really a thing for them, which is nice because some of the other soaps aren't half as flexible. Yeah, I'm looking over you over Days of Our
At
Lives and
Days,
bullshit.
basically, who basically went and cleaned house and said that he didn't want nothing that was part time or temporary.
Exactly. They got to the point. Exactly. So Days was just like, oh no, we can't have nobody be recurrent. And see, part of the problem with that is this, and Lord knows I'm not blaming anybody because
I
it
sure don't.
definitely if they wanted to be recurring to go chase other things, I don't blame them. Mainly because here's the thing, Allison Sweeney has been doing it for years, years. Allison will pop in like this
Yes, she has.
like this stint that she didn't popped in with it and blue Lumi up. I'm pissed off about that entire situation, so I don't want to get into it too deep. They didn't blew Lumi up to hell. Her and Lucas are once again blown to hell for like the nth time in a 25-year history. And now Allison is going off to do her other things. She got she used to do The Biggest Loser. She have all her series of movies on Hallmark and all of that crap. So the thing is, I think part of the issue is that the show kind of, that people probably thought, you know, well, it shouldn't be an issue or it's not going to be a problem. And the show decided, yeah, it's an issue for us. We're not doing that shit just because we let Allison Sweeney do that shit and we've been letting her do that shit for all these years. Don't mean you could do it. And
Right.
that's
Yeah,
basically how
And
they
I don't
did it.
blame
plus
Ron.
there's a rating boost when she comes back. When she
Yeah,
goes
but you know
away
what?
and when she comes back, they always
Nah,
do a rating
that
boost.
cast is too damn huge to have to be putting up with that shit. I don't blame Ron. I don't blame him one bit.
No, I
He works
don't blame
too
them.
hard. All his characters is on 10 all the time, 100%, always doing something. I mean, he needs to be able to count on who he can count on. And as huge as that cast is, everybody that he cut, I don't like that, some of the people are leaving, but I understand and I have no doubt the day is gonna carry on and it's still gonna be an excellent show.
Oh yeah, that's how Days is structured. So that's what I meant when I said I don't blame the show for not going along with it, and I don't blame the show for not going along with it, and I also don't blame the actors for asking for it and not being able to commit to it and moving
Exactly.
on.
They
That's
they
just
have a
life.
choice. They have a choice. They had one to ask for it and say they would either get told yes or no, and they would either decide to stay or they would go. And it's still the situation. That's the same situation. But I digress. But some flexibility should be allowed, and I think that even Ron agreed that some should be. Like you said, he had been
And
working with some characters for years. Some actors and actresses for years. It just
exactly.
apparently
And
got to the point where it was hindering his ability to be able to plan the shows and get them written to his satisfaction.
And not to mention the fact that it wasn't strictly Ron's choice. That was made really obvious when the girl who played Abby gave that interview. She had no reason to be quiet about it either. She let it be known. Yeah, I got told, and it wasn't necessarily Ron wasn't necessarily the one who ultimately had the major issue with it, and he may not have been the one who made the decision about everybody who was going to come and go, but it played out how it played out, and it is what it is.
Hey
So
Right.
y'all. Hey y'all, I gotta do my one finger like in church. I gotta duck out of here right quick.
All right.
If I'm not back before at the end, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, I love
all
y'all.
right.
Okay.
All right. Have a
Love
good
you
night,
too.
Kate
Good
Candy.
night.
We won't see you
Good.
no more, honey.
Thank you.
So yeah, so I mean, that's just how that mess played out, and it is what it is. So having seen how a show can be if the flexibility is not there, Bold has never had that type of problem. At least not in this generation. Yes, years ago, yeah, they had issues because the way that things were, and also the fact that we had made way more soaps on air than we do now. They
But
they did have issues, but not
I
now.
feel like Bold does have a problem with it because I think Bold is in the other direction too relax with it because I think that being flexible to the point that it is a hindrance to a flow of the story and a flow of knowing the characters. Um, I think that Belle does it to a detriment, like the way Flo and Wyatt was supposed to be engaged. I could care less about Flo and Wyatt. I wish both. I wish Flo would basically stay away forever. But I mean that basically just stopped, and just dropped off a cliff. Yes, we do know, we get it. The people still around, they doing things, but I think the flexibility to the point and to the degree where it's a hindrance in story is the issue. So I think the Bells have a problem with it, just in a different way than Ron has a problem with it.
But see, that's the thing. And here's the honest to God truth. The thing is, daytime, for the most part, we're down to four soaps. And unless something changes, most of those four soaps pretty much aren't going anywhere. They are literally the last men standing on the platform. And also, we've also learned the hard way after what happened with ABC. We also know that there is no life online after these soaps go because they just don't seem to have the ability to make the transition. If All My Children or One Life to Live couldn't make it go into online with the kind of fan bases that they had, then I don't really have a hope that a soap that wasn't on daytime television now, any of the ones that are left could make the transition. because Beyond Salem is Beyond Salem, but would they be able to take the whole day's fandom to Peacock if the show wasn't on regular TV? I don't think so, and I don't think Young and the Restless or General Hospital or Bold could either. So, and the thing is with Brad, Brad is at the end of the day, with a few exceptions, Brad is the one who makes the decisions about all of this stuff. He doesn't have really too many people he has to answer to on these issues. It's not like that at ABC, and it's not like that at NBC for sure. And even out on your own Y&R, because Sony has their hand in part of the pot. But Brad actually can make the calls, shoot the shots, change the whole scenery around that character to accommodate them. Now, and the thing is, he doesn't do it for everybody. He doesn't. Well, one, everybody doesn't always want, a lot of time off to go do other projects. The two people who have had the most time off in the last couple of years have, of course, been Heather Tom, because she has been heading in a different direction with her career, further away from acting and closer to directing and being behind the camera, which is a natural progression for actors. And he's known Heather Tom a long, long time. So yeah, he's gonna make plenty of exceptions for her, just like he would for KKL. I don't think he would ever tell, of all the people on the show, those two are the least likely he would ever tell anything about wanting time out to go do something else, just because their acquaintance has been so long and storied that they're not just people who work for him, they're actually friends. And yeah, I agree, Amaya. At some point, I think Heather will just eventually leave and go directing. If she ever couldn't, because that's the thing, if she couldn't leave how she wanted to leave, she would just not come back. That's also the same thing with Allison Sweeney and the shit and the other shit that she does. If she couldn't pop back on an occasional basis like she does, she just wouldn't come back, and that would just be that. And they just have to find something else to do, because there are some characters that, yeah, you can do a recast, but it's damn hard. And I don't think Bold would be trying to put the work in to recast Katie Logan. It took them long
I
enough.
don't see why not. So this is where I still, my point still remains. Belle can be so flexible that it can hurt story. Yes, Heather Tom is a world class actress. She is the best, but they all can be recast.
Oh yeah, there's
We
no
all
such thing
would
as a
prefer to see,
non-recastable
would have
person.
always preferred to see a Katie story over some of this bullshit that we've been seeing for 2 years. But since he is so relaxed and flexible with the other projects, we just don't get Katie until she is available to pop in and sit around and give exposition about other people's stories, the bullshit that we don't want to see. Well, we would prefer to see her. So my point still remains: he can be so flexible that it hurts story.
It can't hurt story, but considering the story Katie has had in the last couple of years before Heather Tom
Well,
started
that's
popping out on the regular.
because her stories aren't a
No,
priority
no,
on
no, no,
board.
no.
Her
I'm
directing
saying
is a priority.
no, 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 no. You're only hearing half of what I said. I said before she started popping out for directing. Before she started popping out regularly for directing, all she was getting was her sister ending up with her husband constantly.
But
That
that's the
was her
story. I
story.
mean, that's but
I
that's
mean, I
that's
don't want
besides the point.
if that's but no, but if that but that's the thing. The story they didn't have Katie with before Heather started taking her hiatuses to go direct.
And,
Her,
and and since she's
I mean,
taken her hiatus to go direct, we haven't had any Katie stories.
well, here's the thing:
So
if it's
that's
a
a hindrance to
oh no,
me. That's a
I
hindrance
get
to
it.
the show.
I get that. I get that that's your opinion, Sam. But here's the thing: if the option is that either we don't get a Katie story or we get a constant story of another woman getting shit on by Brooke Logan, I don't want to see it. If that's all they're going to give her to do, I don't want to see
But
that. We see that every
that
year.
wasn't what we were talking about though. We were talking about Belle being so flexible. It could be great. Yes, flexibility is great. Like Ron was being flexible, and that was great. But you can't be so flexible to the degree that it is no longer a benefit, but it hinders story. And I'm sure that this was the determination and the decision that was made above the even Ron at that point. Is what
Yes,
I'm
it
saying.
was.
That you can be so generous. If you can, it's a thing. You can possibly be too much of a good thing. You could be so generous with being flexible that it hinders stories. Belle has that problem. That's a fact. We have characters that drop off, fall off, and go away, and we don't see for a year because they're
Hmm.
off doing other things.
which I'm fine with because the ones they've been letting drop off are the ones I'm gonna be blunt saying. Most of the
Well,
ones who
that's a
drop
matter of
off,
taste.
with the exception of Justin, though I don't think that that's why he's not on. That's just Bell not writing for the character. See,
Exactly.
with the
And that's a
exception of
shame.
yes, it is. With the except, but see, but that's what I mean. I'm not. I'm not interested in anything where if it's an issue of either you come to work when I say you come to work, I can't give you time off for this, I can't give you time off for that, or you get gone, they end
No,
up
none
they'll
of them
go
would
ahead
do
and
that.
get gone. Some of them
None of them
will,
would
you
do
know,
that.
but Heather Time
Yeah.
would. If Heather Time had to pick between acting on Bold or directing, I think she'd pick directing at this point.
Well, I
That's
mean, the
my opinion,
writers
but
aren't
yeah.
going to make the character, have the actor, they're not going to slave drive the people. I
No.
mean, people still have rights when they work, and those and actors have their own. What do you call those? What do you call those? We don't have them in the South.
What,
Um,
union?
there you go.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, we don't
union.
have, you're
We
right.
don't
Short
have
hair
that
don't
here.
have those
So,
down here. Not
yeah,
at
it's
all.
like foreign to my tongue. I have to think about it. So, they even have their own union. I mean, so we know that they're being fair. Jackie have a baby every year, and she is still up there in episode count. So we know that, flexibility has to be there. We all know, we agree. I'm just happen to say that it can be, there is a thing of being too flexible. So I'm respecting those folks over the NBC for the decision that they made.
I respect it to a degree because, like I said, I'm not mad at the actors for wanting different, and I'm not mad at the show for saying that what your wants don't line up with our wants, so we need to part ways. Nobody, because in that situation, I don't feel anybody was wrong. What I do with Bo, I think that the way that at least I may disagree with Brad's storyline choices for a lot of things, or sometimes how he likes to mischaracterize people and write just dumb shit. But I think one of the reasons that Bold is, I'm gonna put it like this: Bold is the least dramatic and the most happy backstage of any of the soaps. I don't
I
think
think you're
anybody's going
right.
to disagree with that. And there's
I
there's
think
a
so.
reason for that. And there's reasons for that in my opinion. And I think one of those reasons is that nobody feels like they have to sacrifice to show up at work to be here to do something if they want to do something else. So if what Brad does, even if it means that the stories have to shift to other things, keeps his people happier, then how people be on ABC and NBC, I keep doing it. Cause yeah, they got too much. I'll be honest, they have too much backstage drama on ABC and NBC.
I
Way
think
too
they have
much.
too much, yeah, on General Hospital. I don't really
It's
see
not. It
actor disputes in the Days
it
family.
hasn't been bad this year, thank goodness. But I mean, the thing is, I want to, as though I will say, I do get me some popcorn and watch the fireworks when the bullshit jumps off. But the thing is, if you're having more action backstage than you are on screen, something is wrong with your workplace dynamic. Yeah, and Amaya's right. Yeah, especially on GH, they have it's all the way effed up over there, all
Yeah,
the way.
GH backstage is like GH hashtag.
Exactly. And that's just, I think that's a little much to say that your job is to work on a soap opera. Your job is to act on a soap opera, not to actually be in a soap opera backstage. Because if
They
that's
say fiction is straight. Fiction is reality is stranger than fiction.
It is. It truly is. But sometimes I be sitting back there like I honestly be wondering what the other soaps be saying sometimes when some of that mess be popping off. Cause I swear for a Lord, I would probably bet good money on the fact that they didn't got an email saying, y'all know we don't do that over here, huh? Just so just a reminder, we don't do that over here. I know I
So
don't have to
listen,
say it, but I'm gonna say it.
now while it's on the tip of my tongue, did I see a clip with Katie McCain back as Jennifer what's her name? Is
Which
Katie McCain back? Katie
um
McCain
on
instead of
which show?
Days. Katie McCain, Dixie from One Life to Live. Katie McCain,
Oh,
Jennifer, Abby's mom,
oh,
Abigail's
oh,
mom.
you mean Caddy? You mean Caddy? Caddy McLean?
I think it's Katie at
It's pro-
Cady.
It may be Katie. Okay, yeah. It depends on how you pronounce it. Some people say Katie, some people say Katie. But yeah,
I think it's supposed to be Katie.
I have,
CADY, Katie
I,
McKay.
I have no idea. I just always called her Caddy.
But is she back? Because I thought I saw a clip of her mourning for Abigail's death.
I want to say yes. I think they did bring her back for the non-funeral that kind of didn't happen, which I don't like Abby, so I got a
Me neither. I don't like Abby either.
I got a good kick out of that.
I haven't even been watching it, but so is the original actress, is she out? Melissa,
No,
whatever her name was.
I don't know. I never really saw an explanation for it because first of all, one of the things is that Karen McLean is just leaps and bounds of a good actress. Okay,
You can say that one more time and say it louder for the people in the back to hear. They scored when they got her.
Exactly. I mean, it's not often that you get a concurrent recast because in on days it's a bit different because they actually don't do permanent recast in some cases. They actually do go back. So it go back and forth between what was the original, actress and the whoever's, portraying the person now. So I never really got an explanation for why she was back and why Melissa Reeves wasn't. I have no idea. But no, you didn't see. But you did not see anything crazy. They did bring her back for Abby's death and for the funeral in I want to say in mid-June, but I don't know how long she's staying. Or what. But no, I don't think it's anything when Melissa Reeves is out because they would have announced that big, and I haven't heard or seen anything on the soap rags of the Twitter about her leaving the show or anything. Maybe might have been a scheduling conflict. They do that a lot. That if somebody's not available, they pull somebody else in. And since she already plays Jennifer so well, why wouldn't they call her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I actually would prefer Jennifer. I'm sorry, Katie McCain over Melissa. Anyway, I never liked Jennifer. I mean, I just watched. I only started watching days like 2018, at the end of 2018.
Well, here's the thing: Melissa Reeves is OG Jen. So I've always liked her as Jennifer, but when you get a recast, and especially because Melissa Reeves, excuse me, especially because Days handles this really differently than other shows do. I grew up with Melissa's version of Jennifer. Okay, I've always used to her, but Patty came in and she added something really different to Jennifer because there got to a certain with Jennifer. There's a certain point where, how do I put it? Jennifer Horton was the first person who made me realize that sometimes I don't like y'all damn Hortons. Y'all get on my nerves. Because the Hortons, they're one of the bedrock families of Days, and of course that's always what it's gonna be like. But yeah, Jennifer was the first Horton that I realized that what, I don't like half your damn family, heifer. So Katie coming in and being recast for the role, no matter what the length of time was it, I found that she made Jennifer more tolerable. Kind of like the same thing on Young and the Restless, where I like Gina's Phyllis way more than I like Michelle's Phyllis.
Mine too. Me too. Same.
So you really had a lot of different. You just actors just bring different things to a role, especially if it's a well-established one.
Oh yeah, just like a lot of people I've seen on Twitter didn't really care for Taylor, but they absolutely love Krista's version.
Exactly. So, and just like I liked Gina's Phyllis because I felt like she played the softness that Phyllis had a lot better and made me feel like she was more sympathetic.
More human, yes.
Even when she was doing crazy shit.
Phyllis. Right.
Right. Whereas Michelle's Phyllis is balls to the wall, turn it up to 100. I will cut a bitch and I will not feel sorry about it. She plays Phyllis's hard edges magnificently well. No, and Gina never quite played that edge of Phyllis like Michelle does. Everybody has their own strengths, especially with a character that's got a long history. So I guess that's kind of like if of course it's impossible. If Hunter Tyler ever came back to play Taylor again, if Krista couldn't play Taylor, though I don't think Brad would ever do that. He really doesn't do a back and forth like some of the other shows do. Bones is the least recast soap of all of the soaps that are left on screen. So so I would probably find once I would compare Krista's Taylor to Hunter's Taylor that they would both play the same scene, but they would both play it differently because they play to different aspects of the character.
Oh yeah, and plus they're different people, so they would make, they may make different decisions on the way they act out a scene or what they want to try to portray in the scene. So yeah, I always loved the character Taylor, and I cannot be more thrilled. I don't think we could have got a better Taylor recast. Period.
You are correct. I will agree with you with that. We got incredibly lucky because we all know the recast game is hit or freaking miss sometimes. Sometimes it is a wonderful, fantastic journey like it has been with Krista, to see all the new nuances, the acting choices, to see them play up something that you kind of feel like even if you had the previous portrayer, they would have been in a different direction and you're not even thinking that was something the character would do. And
right.
Then you have some of those recasts where you just like, Lord, when is this person leaving? Like, I get, right. I know y'all tried, and bless you for trying. This ain't working.
Yep. But this has worked out wonderfully. And
yeah.
It's like rediscovering Taylor as a Taylor fan for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like literally rediscovering and falling in love with Taylor again. See, I did say I was going to go back and watch OG Taylor on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not, because I actually haven't found the need to, because I feel like I like what I'm getting now from Taylor. So sometimes when we do not like the show, we will go and find old scenes on YouTube and just start watching, some good stuff. I feel like I haven't had the need with my Krista, and I cannot leave the evening without talking about my Tanner and how Finn has got me on the edge of my seat. I cannot wait for the action to kick in with Mike and Finn and Sheila. I'm ready. I mean, they got me on the edge of my seat, just waiting for some action to happen. They've been giving us.
Yep, I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Y'all, I forgot I had a client to come over tonight. So after I ate dinner, I had to clean my whole house within like 5 minutes, and she just left. So I'm glad that y'all had fun though, and I apologize to anybody who tried to come on and couldn't get on because I was gone. But now I'm back. So
well, the chat usually watches that for that.
Exactly. So. We didn't see any requests for anybody trying to get in. But yeah, that's exactly today was. They're very good for Tanner because first of all, I missed him being able to act to begin with, because him being hauled up in that bed has not been acting friendly. So yes, because of course, when you're unconscious, you don't really get to act. There ain't nothing for you to act with. You know. So yes, I'm glad that Tanner is up and running. Finn is awake. And now he actually gets to do stuff. Thank you.
Well,
finally.
I'm looking for more. I cannot wait for the action to kick in. When Finn finally gets the strength in his legs, which literally I was hoping by the end of this week we was having the escape, but it doesn't look like it. They is just dropping little itty bitty crumbles of cheese to me every single day to inch me closer and closer to this seeing reunion.
Well, one thing that looks like it's kind of, and we discussed it a little bit earlier, but we'll go back over it now since you hit it, is that here's the thing. We know in our time, Finn has been gone for 2 months, but Finn is probably experiencing like some kind of spatial issues because one, Sheila will not tell him how long this has been going on or how long he's actually been out. And what she has told him is that everybody thinks you're dead, and that Oh yeah, your wife and the kids are on vacation. Finn is sitting here trying to figure out how long I've been out like this. Have I been out a week? Have I been out 2 months? Have I been out half the damn year? How long have I
Right.
been in this freaking bed? I gotta
And
get
that's
the
where
hell out
Mike
of here.
and that's where Mike is going to come in to play, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But because because we've only been getting Sheila and Finn in the room.
Hmm.
That's it. I'm just ready for all hell to break loose. I'm sitting here waiting and ready for it.
Oh, it is because for one thing, Finn's awake and he's very aware of how precarious the situation is because the way Sheila got down on him for trying to sit up, he's put two and two together. He's got a bright mind. He's getting the four. He knows damn well Sheila don't have no intention. He's getting the message that Sheila has no intention for him to leave.
Exactly. And that's why he was smart today when she called him sitting up and he said he was just testing his strength, but he can't. So Sheila's not dumb either. Sheila let it be known that, yeah, but you don't try to do that when I'm gone. And so, yeah, he got the clue. He got
Hmm.
to, now that's why I'm enjoying the scenes because not a lot's happening, but a lot is being said.
Exactly, because and that's the thing. Sheila knows that the second that Finn is actually healthy and able to leave, show's over. He doesn't need her
Exactly.
anymore. He's not a captive
Game
audience anymore.
over. Yep.
And
And
so,
that's when hopefully um Bubbles gets her dream come true and we get Sheila going after Hayes. Because I do want my sin reunion. I do indeed. However, I don't want them to fade to the background from stories. So I want Sheila to do some more dirt because for one, the Bells would be crazy to just write Sheila out or Kimberlyn out without her literally terrorizing every resident of LA,
oh
I,
no, they're not gonna
including
do
Eric and Quinn and Deacon.
I think so too. And I don't think that even when they get rid of her, it's not going to be forever. Sheila
that.
will
Of
No,
course
always
not.
have that.
Of course not. I won't. So, because the whole point is for her to do so much damage that when the next time she appears, everybody know what time it is. Bow down to the queen, Sheila Carter, the Kimberlyn Brown, and I'm looking forward to it. And that's a come. I don't want Sin to fade to the background. So I need her to go after Hayes. Period. I'm with you,
no.
Bubbles. We need
Sin
a petition for it.
Him going to the background is unlikely. One, because they've already had to play things loose to accommodate, Jackie's maternity leave. So they're going to have stuff for Sin to do as a couple, just because Jackie will be back full time. So yeah, they already they between her being gone for her maternity leave, Kimberly, not Kimberly, um, KKL having her poor ankle broken, all these places, they've had to juggle and rearrange a lot of things, and I don't think Sin will ever get the kind of treatment that say Quirk got when they were happily married and not having 166 damn problems all the time. I don't think them fading to the background is on the menu. That's my opinion, but I just don't see the show going there with them.
Yeah, I
It'd be a
certainly
waste.
hope not.
It'd be
Yeah,
a
I
it'd be a
certainly hope
waste for
not.
one.
Yeah, that would be a real waste of my time. Well, it would actually free up 30 minutes a day.
Shoot, it would be nice. You see, that's the thing. Hopefully, because Lauren and that it would be nice if somebody in GC knew that Sheila ass was alive. But that's the thing. If they made, that would have actually take some serious doing because once they made, and I think Kimberly kind of addressed it a little bit in the bold live that she did. Once they made the decision to move her character over to LA, they kind of sort of wanted to stick because the last few times that Sheila showed her face in Genoa City, it wasn't as Kimberly Brown. It was always as like the last time. Didn't she take Lauren's face? No, Phyllis's face. She got plastic surgery and they had Phyllis playing Sheila or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So in Genoa City, yes, Sheila took Phyllis's space so that she could infiltrate Lauren's life again.
Like a whole nut case as usual.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I don't. So if they did make some kind of arrangement for Sheila Carter to somehow dip across the hall and come back to GC, they're gonna advertise the shit out of that. Because first of all, yeah, Young and the Restless need something exciting happening to wake their asses up because Right now, all they've managed to do is make half the tag wanna kill all the Newmans except for Adam and Faith, and that's about it.
So listen, I thought I read that Bold and the Beautiful was about to take over in total viewers over YNR.
They've been on their ass for a while. That's the issue. Is that the thing is Y&R has consistently been the number one soap in daytime for probably almost longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, yeah. That they've been on for almost 60 years, right?
Right. So they've been on, but they have consistently stayed as that's always been their tagline, right? The number one daytime soap. That's all you've ever heard of Young and the Restless. Even back in the day when we still had all these other soaps on the hook. They still was able to hold on to that number one title with Guiding Light and As the World Turns Down the Way. So the problem is that the difference in the total viewers they're having is the difference has been not as much as it should be because YNR has been consistently number one and Bold has been number two more than not usually, but the difference has been like I want to say the last rating I want to say it was like maybe 400,000 between the two of them. That was
Oh
all.
yeah, that's less than 500,000. Yeah, they lived
Yeah.
about 8 years.
And then I want to say, like the week before that, it was less than that. They're not. The thing
Wow.
is, yeah, it's never consistent. And the thing is, that'll happen every once in a while because
Right. Every once in a, I only think it ever happened twice ever, actually.
exactly. But for Bold to consistently be on their ass like this, it's concerning. I mean, it's not concerning for
It
Bold. For
should be.
Bold, it's great news. For Bold, it's fantastic news. And they're also not really kicking their ass in the demos like they used to either. I
Right.
think Bubbles, didn't you say something about that about the 18 to 49 or whatever?
Honey, Bold and the Beautiful took the spot from the Young and the Restless twice. So yeah, they are.
If that's twice recently, that's a big deal.
It is twice within the past 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. I can go back and look it up. But I
Oh, okay.
think
No,
the
that's
first,
the two times I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, those are the two times I'm talking about.
yeah,
Right.
I
So,
think
Yeah. The demos. I'm talking about total viewers. I think that total
the,
viewers. I don't know if that's ever happened.
and in total viewers, they haven't overtaken them, but they've been on their ass like gravy on rice. And the fact of the matter is, it's never historically, it's not supposed to be like that. That gap is supposed to
Historically,
be
it just don't last like that. I get what you're saying.
no, right. So of course, for Bold, that is good news because that tells Bold, you know what, the moves that we're making are the right ones. The changes that we've made are the right ones because not only are we getting people to tune in, we are getting people to stay tuned in on a consistent basis, which I'm happy about because ratings never tell the whole story, but ratings have a lot to say about advertising dollars. So for them to be able to make gains on the show and keep those gains, even if they don't overtake Young and the Restless, is good news for both because that means they have a better shot at getting renewed in 2 years when it comes up, and they have a better shot at keep staying in the game as long as or getting renewals that are longer than 2 years. Because I remember when they used to get 1 year renewals and that was back when say CBS still had a daytime division. You had Bold and the Beautiful was getting a 1 year renewal, 1 year renewal, and I'd be sitting there like, y'all ain't got no faith in this damn show. And considering
Mhm.
how the writing look, I can't say I blame you. But Young and the Restless, because they've got Sony on their back and everything, they would get multi-year renewals. So when Bold got that 2 year renewal, because a 2 year renewal, a multi-year renewal is important because it gives writers the option, if they so choose, to actually plan out long-term stories that will play out over a while instead of some shit that wraps up in 60 days. So or if you want to go for it, a story that could run for the total of a year before it actually comes to a conclusion. And I'm talking about something better than this baby Beth crap that we got, which is the longest story we've had on board in a while, and one of the ones that I would kind of have liked to forgotten considering how it went down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bold and Beautiful really screwed their audience on that one. They drug us through 8 months of hell. to give us all in 1 or 2 or 3 days to fall out in the resolution.
Right. And no, and Amaya, you're right. The Baby Beth story did get them to number one that week because everybody wanted to tune in to see this shit in. But the problem was that they drug out the denouncement so long that you just had people delirious and everybody and they just wanted it over with. I mean,
Uh-uh.
there was specific periods, weeks, and even like I want to say like 2 months.
Even more than that,
Yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to watch both. It was
and
too
even
much.
more than that, the ratings that were lost during the time of the Baby Best story speak more than that to that story than the the one Friday that everybody tuned in to watch the end of the story. That story had viewers falling off in droves. Go back and check that. But yes,
Well, see, but the thing is,
because
that's the thing.
remember,
But
CBS was in the contract negotiations during right before the end of the Baby Best story. Contract negotiations end. I don't know if it was Comcast or Infinity, but it wasn't Spectrum. It wasn't Spectrum, but it was one of those other two. And the contract negotiations end the same week the climax of the Baby Best story. So they
right.
got the viewers back that they lost, plus everybody else that got Channel 10 back that week. But I digress. Go ahead.
But that's the thing is that because they drug it out so long, they got people back at the end because everybody wanted it over. But the hemorrhaging that they did along the way was not how. That's not how a story is supposed to play out. Yes, you will have ebbs and you
And
will have
those numbers
flows.
did not remain in hold.
Well, no, because people tuned in for the conclusion, and then by the time they rolled on to the next story, people were like, okay, well that's over. I might tune back in, I might not. I just wanted to see how it ended. And on the Young and the Restless side, the thing is, all of that shit that was going on with Bold and the Beautiful was not supposed to affect their numbers the way it did. But Young and the Restless then had been such a disorganized mess. Because Amaya, I agree with you that 100%. They had been such a disorganized mess for such a prolonged amount of time that they didn't got caught slipping more than they didn't got caught being on their damn game. And that's just yeah. I don't even, you know what? I don't know what happened in 2019 on YNR either. And that's how boring it was. I can't tell you what happened on Young and the Restless in 2019.
I think
No
that's when they
idea.
fired the Rosaleses, and that's when I quit.
That you're probably right. All I know is they probably had some foolishness with Summer and Kyle, and that's about it. Other than that, I could not tell you what those people did that year. And in soaps with people who've been watching them for years and years, that is bad news. You don't ever want to have a soap viewer say, I don't remember what happened in XYZ years because I had to get the hell out of here because y'all was too damn bored.
Mm-hmm. The Rosaleses gave it a shot of to me excitement. I hadn't been that excited to come home and watch YNR in a long time because of that family. And then they started cutting them left and right. When they cut Mia Rosales, and I was like, that's the only interesting thing going on in the whole damn city.
Well,
I
I
was
honestly
done.
felt they shouldn't have cut Mia because she was one of the most interesting Rosales. I didn't really care about them getting rid of Antonio. Antonio could have freaking went. But yeah, they could have kept Mia because at least Mia made shit happen.
Mm-hmm. And I was disgusted because before that, I was just watching out of loyalty. I wasn't even paying attention to the storylines. I was bored with everything.
And
But
that's
then Mia came. But I did like Arturo. Arturo was a little hoe. He was getting everybody. Get out.
but see, and well, yeah, him and Nikki and that whole mess with her and Victor had that open marriage.
Open marriage, child.
But and that's the thing is that Young and the Restless has never been in danger of losing their top spot or the consistently or had anybody nipping at their heels. Because say what you want for not Young and Restless for Days and for General Hospital, their overall total viewers have lagged over the years consistently, and that's just the way it's set up. So Young and the Restless has had no worries, but now all of a sudden you got Bold and the Beautiful staying within 400 to 300 total viewers of you and gaining viewers on a consistent basis while you're hemorrhaging. Yeah, they need to fix some shit, or they are going to have to worry about losing that top spot on a consistent basis. And you got that right. That's
Which
exactly
means with
why
less
Lionel.
advertising dollars, more will come to Bold and the Beautiful. And maybe we can get some decent sets.
Well, see, that's the thing. Both one, and I agree with mine. One of the reasons that YR is still the number one soap is because they were the first soap, post Capital and whatnot, to prioritize really giving big storylines to black people. So you have a lot of people. Like my grandmother, she used to watch it. She used to turn on her TV to watch Price is Right, leave it on for Young and the Restless, and then you leave it on for the news and Bold and the Beautiful afterwards. And they just didn't bother, and she never bothered to change the channel. A lot of people have their TV set up that way. A lot of older people, and that's just how they run it. So Young and the Restless though, they've been so consistently drab with some of their stories where the story either don't come to an end or the payoff is nothing to even speak of, that yeah, a lot of people be like, I can go read the summary, because you know what, I've had years of Bold and the Beautiful. It was like that. I'd watch one day a week and then go read the summary for the whole week, and it'd be like, I ain't miss shit. There was nothing to watch. It was all right.
And on that note, we're gonna wrap it.
Yes.
And I let myself get behind today in a horrible way.
Oh, okay. Well, you get caught up.
Yeah, honey, you go ahead and get caught up, and we'll see y'all back here tomorrow, same bad time, back channel. And I think Bold and Beautiful screwed up today because they posted the screen cap from Donna and Quinn talking, but that's tomorrow's show if I'm not.
And I'm waiting. Okay. Well, all right. I will see y'all tomorrow.
Good night.
All right. Everybody have a good night.
Good night, guys.